Sunday, beautiful afternoon. I'm going for a walk. I'm taking you for a walk with me. Look how pretty it's here in sunny Florida. I have new selfie stick because my selfie stick broke last weekend. I was filming wedding in a nice hotel, and then I went to the beach, and then we went to Sarasota. So it was a busy weekend. So my selfie stick was my working instrument, and it broke. So this week I ordered a new selfie stick, and it came, and it seems like, I hope you're not shivering too much looking at my screen. So here is our sunny, beautiful Florida. Look at the sky. The sky is so blue, not even a cloud. We've been having lots of rains this winter. Lots of rains. So it's nice to have the weather not so hot yet, not humid, but very sunny and very nice and springy, I would say, because lots of trees got like super green already. Like some of the trees still don't have lots of green leaves, but most of them starts to get like nice and green. Look how pretty is that. How can you hear me? I have 7 viewers. Welcome. Welcome to my live stream. I'm taking you on a walk, and today I'm gonna talk about, let me see, how can you see me? And today I have to walking on the road. How can you hear me? I'm taking you on the walk. Wow, I'm glad I put some foundation as a sunscreen. Sonia! Hi, how are you? Good to see you. I hope everything is well in Berlin. See, I have hi from Berlin. Welcome. Going for a walk. The weather is beautiful. My girls and my boys went to a movie. Hi. Hi. Somebody watches me. So the weather is beautiful. I'm going to do my 10,000 steps today because I've been eating a lot and now I have to walk it off. Yep, we're going for a walk around the lake. So it's sunny. Every day I try to tell some fun stories from my past, from where I grew up, and how I went to school, how I went to college, how I made friends. Let me show you something, because I really like this landscaping my neighbors have. Look how pretty is this landscaping. Look how pretty they take care of their landscaping. Where do you come from? Hi, Helly. Welcome to the live stream. I'm Kate B. I live in Florida, United States. I've been living in the United States for the past 17 years. Is it 17? Oh yeah, I came in 2006. So almost 18 years, and I love it here. So this is sunny Florida, and we live in the suburb of Orlando. So it's northeast of Orlando. Northeast of Orlando. We live about 45 minutes away from Port Canaveral, from east side of Florida, and we live a little bit northeast from Orlando. Welcome to the live stream. 32 people. Yay! Greetings. How are you? Mouse, welcome. I'm all right. I'm going for a walk. We have beautiful weather. That's what we call California weather, because the humidity starts. Here I am. Welcome. Love you guys. I'm taking you for a walk. Look at this beautiful, like that's what we have in February. Lots of blooms, bougainvillea. So it's pretty much like in the tropical forest. And the sky is so blue and beautiful. Like the sky Let me try to show you. Look how blue is that sky. Like not even a cloud. I'm from Germany. Kate and her sisters are my best friends. Yay! Sonia, welcome. I'm so glad you're there. I hope you're not busy. Sunday is to relax. Today I'm taking it easy. My daughter was in her training school sport. I decided to go walking 12 kilometers. Great. Yeah, I'm walking too. So today, I usually try to do 10,000 steps, but we'll see. We'll see if today I can walk and talk. And I'm not gonna get out of breath too soon because I'm an old lady. So, what we're gonna talk about today? Okay, how you spend your weekend. Sometimes you plan a lot to do during the weekend. This weekend we don't have competition. We had competition last weekend, and we have competition next weekend in Savannah, Georgia. So next Friday we're traveling to Savannah, Georgia. It's a gorgeous little city. Very, very nice places to see. Historical, very calm, relaxing. So Stella will do her competition on Friday afternoon, and we are staying overnight, and we're gonna just walk around Savannah on Saturday because we love this little tiny town. So this weekend we're home, and of course I have to plan a lot for the weekend when we're home, because until end of March and beginning of April, pretty much every 2 weeks we drive to the competition, so sometimes weekends are really busy. But this weekend we're home, and my stepson is in town. My stepson is 28. We're very proud of him. He's a good guy. And my girls adore him. Like, my girls adore their big brother. So when the big brother is in town, my girls, they don't want to do anything but me, because all attention on the big bra. And today they went to a movie. They went, what is the movie? Lady Spider or Lady Web? It's called Lady Web. So they're all into Marvel movies, and beautiful area where you are walking, really. Yes, it's so sad because they started to clear out the jungle to build more neighborhoods. When we lived here in 2006, the roads still were, some of the roads still were dirt roads, but because they're building and developing and the real estate is booming, they pretty much cut out the jungle and they built houses. So this used to be our local park, and when my dad babysat my little girl, he would go to this park every day. He would walk with a stroller. He would walk on the special little bridge through the jungle to go to the park's playground. And now, even around that park, they cut out the jungle to build 5 new houses. I'm going to show you the houses right there. Because a lot of people after the COVID, during the COVID, they moved from everywhere. Blooms are gorgeous. Yeah, it's interesting. Every time of year, some plants are blooming in Florida. So even in winter, we have those big trees that have some kind of blooms. Okay, I'm gonna be careful here because usually the dogs start barking here when I pass this house. But today, hopefully, they're not barking because I'm very scared. I'm very afraid of dogs, and I get scared when they bark. Yes, it's pretty. So I'm gonna show you these houses, and they literally built them in the past 3 years. See the tall palm trees? They were not here 3 years ago. I would walk here and they would build this new houses right next to the park. They cut out the jungle. They probably sold that land for a few $1,000s, and they built on this little tiny spot next to the road. See, the houses here are older, mostly probably in mid-60s. But these houses were built in the past, like during the COVID times, in the past 4 years. Like you can tell, this is new construction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses. They were built recently. Yep, that's the little town we live in. Hello, welcome. Let's talk about your future trip. No. My future trip is going to be, girls have spring break. They are having spring break. Both schools have spring break starting March. I think March 15th is their last day on Friday. So usually March is very busy at work because we spend money by July 1st. We have to spend money because the fiscal year at the university I work for, it ends on July 30th. So we have to spend money. And in March and April, it's a busy time because we buy a lot of materials for the library collections the last few months of this fiscal year. You know how it works. Everybody starts to spend money like the last few months. So usually it's a very busy time. So last few years, I didn't take spring break with my kids, and I regretted it because they didn't do much. They just go for a walk, they go with their friends. Эти красивые цветочки. Welcome. So I have 11 viewers. Thank you for sticking with me. So you know how it is. I thought the work was important because, you know, I didn't have a lot of people to help me. Horror movies about police, crimes, abuse. She will learn this whole day for sure, but now it's too early. Yeah, my teenager, she loves Marvel, and she's just obsessed with Marvel movies, and we kind of think that in Marvel movies, kindness always win over the evil. So it's not necessarily like they still have violence in those movies, but it's more like a fairy tale. I guess Marvel superheroes. Yeah, I let them go and hang out with their dad and their brother, and I have free time, so I let them watch Hunger Games early. So my daughter is 10 and she already watched all the Hunger Games movie. And at first I thought it was too violent, but the idea, the philosophy behind the movie, it makes them think. It develops their critical thinking earlier, and they know how privileged they are living and having what they have. So some movies, yes, are too early, but I trust my husband's judgment. Some movies they wanted to watch with us. I said no for my 14-year-old because she wanted to go to us to watch Mean Girls. I wasn't sure about it, and she wanted to watch the new movie, like some romantic rom-com, and we didn't allow her to because it was PG-13. But the horror, yeah, we don't watch horror movies. We mostly watch Harry Potter. They watch like all this famous Star Wars and stuff like that, like because it's classics and they need to know. And it's a good time to go when they go to the movie theater. It's always a fun time to watch it on the first weekend. It's like you feel very special watching it on the weekend it's opening. But anyway, so what I'm trying to say, like most of the past 5 years I had to balance between work and home, and I only have 2 weeks of vacation every year. So like just to imagine, 2 weeks of vacation is 80 hours, right? And last year I took 3 weeks, and I didn't took 3 straight weeks. I took 1 week here, a couple of days there, but it adds up. And at the end of the year, last year, I spent 3 weeks. So I didn't have a lot of vacation leave this year. But I was planning to go see my sister in Berlin in summer. I wanted to take my girls, but their passports are expired, so we want to renew their passports, and I'm not sure if their passport's going to be ready on time. So I postponed. Maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll go later in the summer. I don't know yet, so we'll see. But I like the colors of your hoodie. Okay. I bought this in Alaska. It's just a light, very light sport jacket, and it doesn't get, you know, like, you don't get too hot, and you don't get too too hot. Well, it's starting to get hot when I'm walking, so I might take it off. Thank you for the compliment. So this year I'm thinking my girls are growing. Zoe is already 14, she's turning 15, and she's gonna start driving. Of course, she's gonna drive with my dad first in the car, but they're growing, and I need to spend as much time as possible now with them, because when they're teenagers, they have friends, they start driving, forget it. They're not gonna spend time with you as much as they can spend time with you now. So this spring break, I took a whole week off, and we're going to our favorite Disney cruise because we just love Disney cruise. We love the service, we love the food, we love activities, we love the ships, and we're going to Bahamas. They're going to take us to the private island. We're going to spend 2 days at sea, 2 days on the island, 1 day in Nassau, Bahamas. But Nassau, Bahamas, we probably not going to go out because Nassau is not a nice place to be. So we're going to stay on the ship. And girls are very, very excited. I booked that cruise maybe like a month ago. And for them, it's something to look forward, so they know that the spring break, they're gonna go to their favorite place. We're going to go on a Disney cruise. Yay! I like the colors. Thank you. Okay, now it's a lot of cars here. Let me see. I hope you don't hear the traffic as much because I put this little thingy. Okay. Okay, they'll let me go. Have to be careful, they'll let me go. Yeah, beautiful weather. I like the colors of you. Okay, thank you again. Anyways, that's my trip. I know a lot of people don't like cruises. They think it's not much to do there. It's like for old people. Yes, that's how I felt before. I thought it's just for old people. People are just eating and visiting like third world countries in the Caribbean islands. But because we're going on a special cruise, Disney is like 5-star resort at sea. So Disney is the cruise line that competes with Ritz-Carlton hotels, you know. So the service is top-notch, and the activities they provide to the kids of all ages are amazing. So, and my girls love the ships. They know the ships. They've been sailing. Zoe probably been sailing for 7 times, and Stella sailed maybe 9 times, something like that. So they just love the cruise. So we're going. And it's easy for me because just pack your stuff. You don't need to cook. You don't need to worry where to eat. You don't need to worry about entertainment. You can relax too. I'm gonna go to the spa. This is our lake, so pretty. So today, do you want to hear any other stories from my past, from my youth? I was thinking what I can tell you today. If I have anything else. Yesterday we stopped at the story with my very first boyfriend that dumped me in the New Year's night, and my heart was broken. Yes, it was broken for many reasons, but it wasn't broken for a long time. Смотрите, какая... Oh, that's a beautiful bird. Look at this bird. Oh my goodness, what is she doing? Okay. А, это какая-то уточка. It's like a duck, wild duck. I felt like she couldn't start. Okay. Okay. Болталка, гулялка, ты как хочешь это назови. Сейчас я сгорю. I'm gonna get sunburned. I needed to put a hat on or something because usually, oh my gosh, maybe I'll go walk under the trees. Okay, so I've been thinking, because when you become a blogger, it's some kind of like you have to tell about yourself, and some people have no filters. They want to be very authentic. They want to be very frank. But sometimes I think as a vlogger, you still have responsibility and you still have to have filters. So you can't just talk away. You don't want to give out anybody's secrets. You don't want to give out anybody's, hurt anybody's feelings. And you have to consider and respect people you live with. So it's your hobby, but you don't want to get other people get involved in your hobby. If they don't want to be in your videos, if they don't share your passion for YouTube, if they're simply shy, or they don't share your views about exposing yourself, if they don't share but they let you do your own thing and they respect your space, you don't want to involve your family, and you don't want maybe to tell secrets, some skeletons in the closets. So when you're a vlogger, you have this responsibility. That's why I have filters. So I'm not gonna tell you everything that's going on. Of course, I'm not going to tell you everything what's on my mind and all my little things that irritate me or some things that bother me. And I decide what I want to tell and what I don't want to tell. I want to keep it to myself. And that's why when I tell you stories from the past, like from my youth, ой, какая красивая птица. When I tell you stories from my youth, like these people, they're not in my life, right? And these people, they have their own like families, careers. They might live far away. They might not know me. And when I talk about the stories from the past, I hope I'm not going to hurt anybody's feelings, and I can't tell you about those stories from the future when I'm not as hurt as I probably was before. But again, since I'm growing to teenage girls, I'm gonna tell them that all the stories I had in the past, they didn't traumatize me. They were just experiences, learning experiences, and you move on. So even if I tell you all the time, oh, my heart was broken so many times, like it wasn't broken to the point like I couldn't build relationships. It wasn't broken to the point that I become very reserved or upset or like mad at the whole world. Yes, your heart was broken, but you get up and you try to do something to unbreak your heart. So after my first boyfriend, that guy who paid attention what was going on, and he kind of felt sorry for me, he walked me home and stuff like that, and he started to pay me some signs of attention. So he was nice. And he was my other boyfriend later. It didn't last long, maybe a couple of months, I don't remember. But just the idea to be in the same company and to show the guy who dumped you. Back in the day, like we're young. We want mostly we want to show like you're okay, you're like rebound. You're not gonna I'm not gonna sit there and cry and waiting for you. And at first, yeah, you feel like, oh, you got dumped. But back in the day, like, okay, now what you're gonna do, you're gonna just show this guy what he lost, what kind of prize he lost. And that new boyfriend, he was very nice. He was like easygoing. He wasn't like too, you know, he wasn't too of a show off. He was more modest. And I think I liked him. Maybe I felt like he was a little too boring back in the day, because he wasn't, like, as I say, he wasn't too much show off. And I always liked machos. I always liked show off people. I always liked the boys who draw attention, you know. So when that tall guy was flirting with me and we started to date, I think that's what they say, like, the rebound person is not serious, because if you go in through a rebound, you are dating this person not for an authentic reason that you really like him or have sympathy. You're mostly dating for him not to be alone and to show your other person who broke your heart. You kind of want to show that you're not alone and you can rebound. So we dated probably until spring, maybe until summer. And then in summer, when people start traveling, people start going places, you know, like back in the day, people don't have a lot of money to travel together, and of course they travel with their families. They go to the seaside. Like, we lived in Moldova, so a lot of people go to Odessa, to Ukraine, to the seaside. And I would go to visit my aunt. If we don't have enough money to go to the seaside, we just hang out at the relative's house. I would go somewhere else too, but maybe not to the seaside, because it was getting expensive and you don't make much money. And I think I started to work in the second year of college, so I don't even remember if I probably worked in summer, and I probably made some money. So I was keeping myself busy. So my tip for the people who go through like heartbreak and stuff, like the young people, like I say, I have 2 girls, and if something happens to me and they are to them and they're upset, I would tell them, hey, listen, just keep yourself busy, like find something, find a hobby, find something you can be focused instead of like being focused on your broken heart. Just find a person you feel comfortable. What a lot of women do. Yes, important is to keep yourself proud and never underestimate a man. What a lot of women do. Yes, but the problem when you're young, like you realize it now, you have some experiences, you have wisdom, blah blah blah. But back in the day when you're young, and you were always told that you're not pretty enough, you're not skinny enough, you're not smart enough. You always doubt yourself, and it doesn't do good to women to doubt themselves, because we all have doubts about ourselves. But at the end of the day, we are who we are. If we are hardworking people, if we enjoy life, if we're kind, if we have, you know, good hearts, if we're decent, if we're not breaking the law, if we're not involved in criminal activity, if we're not taking, you know, any substances, if we don't abuse alcohol, like, that's it. That's enough to be a decent person. And the looks, the money, what else? The looks, the money, the appearance, it's all relative, you know. So back in the day when I was told I wasn't like pretty enough, I was always in doubt. And since I was a late bloomer, I thought at 18 having my first boyfriend was kind of late. But later on, I think it wasn't late. It was great, because it kind of prevented me from having even more broken hearts and having like sex too early in life. So I think it's always good to be a late bloomer, not to have those hormones too crazy to get pregnant at 17. So it is what it is. But back in the day, nobody sit down with me and nobody told me, okay, listen, like you say, you don't need to run after man. If you meet the one, it's gonna happen eventually. Like, you don't need to wait for that. You don't need to pursue it. You just live, you know, do your thing. Like, go to school, learn something you like, have hobbies, just live a comfortable life, live a comfortable and happy life by yourself first. And then you're gonna meet someone, you're gonna like someone, and somebody gonna like you. It has nothing to do with the looks. Again, it has something to do with your character, with your soul, with your qualities, with your, you know, kindness, with your heart. But back in the day, a lot of things in our culture were about the looks, social status, money, where do you work, who do you know, or something like that. Your parents, if your parents could, you know, give you a good financial start. If you're independent, you have your own apartment. So a lot of things back when I was very young were based on looks. Like, you're supposed to look like a model, you have to have nice clothes to go out, you can't look like sporty to go out, you know, you have to always look like you go into a business meeting. Like, yeah, we go to college and we wear high heels, we wear beautiful clothes. Like in winter we had all these fur coats, like sheepskin coats, and we dress up. We have like beautiful Italian boots, you know, like we have heels, you know. And imagine walking to the public transportation bus stop, and it's snowing and it's icy and you're wearing stupid high heel boots, you know, but just because for the fashion, just because to look good. So what I'm trying to say that this first experience wasn't good, but second experience was a little better. The rebound was a little better, and I think I wasn't as heartbroken when I parted with the second boyfriend. So I kind of started to get the feel what kind of boys attract me, and I think I wasn't like deeply in love, because, you know, back in the day, like what you like person for. You like person just because, you know, you click with them, you spend good time, person makes you laugh, person makes you comfortable. You're not kind of like always, you know, like if you're my thing was like, if you can relax and be yourself in front of a person, that's somebody that works for you. So the second boyfriend, I didn't kind of like suffer a lot when we parted ways. So in right after my 20th birthday in 90, so that was 90, I was 18. No, and then I told you that on 19th, my friend from college threw me a big party in my house. And then when I started I liked someone else after that birthday. And then a second year of college, that would be second year of college from 90, let's say 19, 19, 5, 95, I was 19. 96 was an interesting year. In 96, before I turned 20, I took that trip to Moscow to visit my cousin. My cousin lived in Moscow, and that was a big deal to go to Moscow, just, you know, to go to McDonald's or to go to the Red Square. And it was in 1996 when I went to Moscow. And there was something I was kind of like dating. There was somebody there, and I think that it was important for me to go there and spend some time for the winter break. It was a good trip. It was a good trip. Nothing like too fancy, but, you know, at least I went to McDonald's. in winter. And my cousin took good care of me because he brought me to nice places to eat, and then he bought nice food, and he had parties. So, and he brought me shopping. I think he brought me shopping to some kind of open market. You know, back in the day they had this big, huge market, Tolchok. So I had a good time for winter break in 1996. And then when I turned 20, I got this a nice family I met, and I started to work as a nanny in this Irish family. And I think at the end of the, at the start of the third year at school. And since then, I was keeping myself busy because half of the day I worked full time for these people, being a nanny, and another half of the day, usually the second part of the day, I went to school. College was like you go in the afternoon and you stay there until evening. So I had a very busy life. It felt busy, but now I think we don't realize when we are young, we don't have as much responsibility as we have now as parents, as grown people, because nowadays we think about pension plan, we think about savings, we think about savings for our kids' college, we're thinking about how our kids doing and like health-wise. Like, it's so much more responsibility now when you are between your 35 and 50. It's like way more responsibility. But back in the day, you don't realize it, and you think, oh, life is so boring, I don't have fun time because I always work, or I go to school and it's the same crowd, it's the same friends. But that was actually a life. That was actually a fun time because you're healthy, you don't worry about your health. Yes, you do worry about your looks, but you buy clothes, what's available, and whatever. And you want to fit in, you know, your most worries are to fit in with the crowd, you know. Your most worries are about your looks and about fitting in with a certain group you want to hang out with. And these are very stupid, and I understand that, you know, kids now, when the kids now who are 14, 15, 16, who are in high school, they're going through the same thing because of the hormones, because of their brain. They didn't make like right connections yet. So I can't explain to them, I can't put my brains to my daughter's brain. I can only explain from my own memories and from my own experiences that this is a wonderful time. This is the stage when you don't need to worry about adult life, that you only need to worry about certain responsibilities like school, thinking about what interests you for the future profession. So you have, like, even though my teenager told me that it doesn't feel like childhood anymore. Well, yes, when you're 14, 15, when you start high school, you don't feel childhood anymore because you put under pressure to do great at school and think about going to a good college. But on the other side, I wanted to tell her, your responsibilities end with the school, with the doing great at school, thinking about college, and not to worry about everything else. Later on in life, when you have your own family, you have to worry about covering the bills, you have to worry about keeping your health in good condition, you have to worry about you know, your family, and it's so much more to take that you'd rather enjoy this teenage years and youth years without extra drama. You just try to enjoy these years as much as you can and find something good every weekend, find something good every day at school, find some good people that lift you up, that make you feel comfortable around them. So don't waste your time on those anxieties. Don't waste your time on those worries. Just try to find coping mechanisms with any situation, and trust your parents, because your parents have experience. They always are on your side. They always will be willing to help you. Now I understand that every generation is different. I think we were too far from our parents' mentality because they were growing by traumatized parents after the war, and they were growing in the very modest environment in in a different type of economy where things were tough, you know. Now we're exposed to so much more resources, we're exposed to technology, we're exposed to different, like, very comfortable lifestyle. Like, we're not struggling about like hot water, we're not struggling about clean water, we're not struggling about food. So our kids, their worries should be less than we had, right? They should live more comfortable and appreciate things that we provide for them. But it doesn't happen like that. For some reason, it's opposite. The more comfortable is the life now, the more comfortable we make our life for kids, more stuff going through their head, and they worry about wrong things. They self-doubt, they worry about fitting in, they worry about social status, they worry about prestige, they worry about clothes. And I know we worried about that too, but at the end of the day, for each generation, life back then was so much more difficult, so much more challenging, that now I think kids became, like, why do you say this word, snowflakes? I really believe that kids are snowflakes now, because at some point, we as kids were exposed to more labor and to more chores in the house, like to more physical activity that our parents forced us to do. Our kids are not exposed to all this, you know, like physical labors. Like, we don't make them work in the garden, you know, we don't make them clean and cook the food, you know. Sometimes they do help in cleaning and laundry, but most of the times our kids are not busy with the household duties. Our kids are just expected to do great at school, to do sports, to eat healthy, to have good hygiene, to be nice to their friends, to find time besides the gadgets to enjoy, you know, to do some physical activities, to be nice to their friends, and, you know, just do great at school. So that's the expectations. Our parents expected a little more from us, you know, like my mom would expect me to clean, my mom would expect me to learn how to cook for myself, so we were more independent. And even traveling, I can't imagine my 14-year-old getting on a train and traveling to a different city without the cell phone. And I've been traveling to my aunt's house like 3 hours on the train between two cities, and you know, my mom trusted me that I will be okay. So what I'm trying to say, that enough with the breaking hearts. Like, I don't regret the experiences that happened to me, because they were not so horrible. They were greetings from my daughter Mia. Oh, thank you. Welcome to the live stream, Mia. Nice to meet you. I don't know if she speaks English, but maybe you can translate to her. Nice to meet you. We're going now home after the training. Good, good. Okay, Sunday you had like training. Good, good. I hope she has her personal progress, and that's what's important. Don't look back. Don't try to, you know, doubt yourself. Just look at your own progress. You know you're going to be there at some point if you focus and if you work hard. That's it. Just be nice to yourself. That's the wisdom. So what I'm trying to say, like, why I go to the live stream and I want to express myself. I kind of relive and I kind of think, was it so traumatizing, or was it just like something, now we know about these things. Oh, it was a traumatizing experience. Oh, it was a rough experience. But back in the day, nobody was so snowflakey. Nobody was so soft. You know, everybody were tough back in the day. Okay, you get brokenhearted, you find a way to cope. You find a way to build new relationships, you just go out there. You can't afford to lay down. You can't afford to lay down and like be depressed. People didn't take depression seriously back in the day, and understand why, because life was tough enough and nobody had time to be sorry for themselves. And people who were sorry for themselves, they didn't get far in life, you know. So my parents, as I say, I wasn't too open with my mom because she was a very anxious person, and she would like you tell her story and she would make up like the worst scenario out of the story, and she would see something that, you know, would not be up to her standards. And I didn't like that. And nowadays I try to, I had that quality in me too, because I'm very much like the character-wise, I'm very much like my mom's, and I find some traits. But because I'm growing my children in a totally different society, in a totally different times of technology, of knowledge, of progress, you know, I can't be so authoritative. I can't just expect them to do something to my standards, you know. There are certain standards, there are certain expectations, but I can't be always there to criticize them. I'm there as a parent to support them. And if I criticize them, it has to be gentle, it has to be factual, it doesn't have to be a scenario or my own anxiety. I don't have to project my own anxieties on my kids. So I have to be very wise in that very sensitive age. When my daughter is a teenager, I have to be very wise and have good listening skills and put my ego like far away from me, just to be on her side, just to listen and to understand that her brain is not developed, and teenagers go through a lot of things because of their brain connections are not built yet, and because of the hormones, things look different to them, and because of the lack of experience and the poor judgment, they might do stupid things. Hello, Katya, it's from mobile of my mom. I want to go to USA for learning English. Good. So maybe you can find the program like study abroad or something when you can go to university, or last year in high school. They do that here. They host, some families host people from Europe, and then their kids go to Europe and, you know, like an exchange student. Maybe you'll find a program like that. That would be fun. You can also look into work and travel program, and there is also, like for older people, there is program when you come and live in a family and a nanny. You can do that. They like people from Europe. Yeah, we Americans always think that people from Europe are very cultured. You guys know a lot about culture, architecture, you know a lot about art, history. Oh, good. Good. That's a good plan. Yeah, and when you emerged in the in the culture and you pick up from native speakers, it's easier to learn. And here you're not judged. You're not judged by your accent. You're not judged by where you're from. So that's why. Everybody loves to come to United States. They kind of feel accepted here. Maybe some other countries, like more authentic, like France and Italy, they try to protect their culture and they don't like foreigners as much, but America loves foreigners from all over the world. So what I'm trying to tell, so I'm always thinking how my mom did it to me, and some things were good, some things were not so good, and I have to be my own parent now. I have to use the tools and knowledge we have now. I have to adjust my character, my qualities of my character to the expectations of the modern world, to the kids. I should understand my kids a little better. And I'm not doing it alone. I think it's very important, like my husband and I, we're on the same page, you know. I listen to him, I listen to his philosophies. I might be having my own thoughts, but I listen to him because, you know, I respect him. I respect all he's done in life to achieve and to build this, you know, excellent career in a foreign country, being an immigrant. So I know that he has a lot of good qualities that my daughter, that he can be a good. English is extremely important for the future career. Yes, everywhere in the world. I agree. So what I'm trying to say, like, if you have a good partner to raise your kid with, like, let's say you have a good partner to raise your kid with, you might have different qualities of the character, but what's important that your kid see both of you. Your kid see both of your good and bad, and your kid you should be a good role model for your kid. Even if I'm, you know, anxious sometimes, if I'm yelling or I'm expecting them to do something and I don't have patience and I explain it in a like not very polite way, sometimes they are my kids, you know, and I can always apologize and I can always say, hey, listen, I wasn't in a good mood, I was tired, I was cranky, I was mean and mad, but you're my kid. No matter what, I'm going to love you. I'm going to be on your side. So don't be afraid to apologize to your kids if you think you went a little overboard with the discipline, with your expectations or misunderstandings, or you yelling, you're using a tone that might offend them or might hurt their feelings. Yeah, they're snowflakes, but now I understand why they're snowflakes, because we teach our kids to treat other people like they want to be treated. And I wasn't a very religious person before, but now since my daughter studies Bible, and she reads me a lot of verses from the Bible, and she finds some good morals in the Bible, I'm all for it, you know. I let her explore and learn and get this knowledge from the sacred book, you know, and to interpret this, to have the best quality as a person in her own self. And I really encourage that, because, you know, that's the age when they absorb not only from the family but from the, you know, society, from the communities. They spend a lot of time. And I love their school because their school teach them to face challenges, like academic challenges. And it's not only they go to school just to be there and get babysat by the nice teachers. Like at school, they really learn, they get challenged, and even if sometimes they say, oh, I have so much of, you know, homework, or the academic load is crazy, we always encourage them to you know, think one day at a time, one test at a time, one quiz at a time. We encourage them. We're going to tell them better. It's hard now, but it's going to be easier later. When you go to college, you're going to be prepared for the adult world. You're going to be prepared for the challenges in college. So even now the kids complain about their school load. You have to be there. You have to tell them, yes, it's your responsibility now, the school load, but later in life, you're going to remember those years and you would say it was nothing. That school load was nothing compared to what adult, how much more responsibility adult life brings you. And we're not only talking about like financial hardships in adult life. We're talking about how hard it's to have good relationships later in life, you know. It's more difficult to understand people when you have your certain baggage of experience. So now it's easy peasy. Everybody in that age going through the same stuff, but later in life people going through a lot of different things, and we can't be understanding other people's hardships, you know. And it's not easy to have good relationships when you're adults, because everybody going through a lot with their experiences, with their, you know, past experiences, with their recent situations, money-wise, or like career-wise, or love life-wise. So we're keeping our daughter under control every time. It would hurt my heart to let her go to study somewhere, but my husband is sure it would be a good experience. Не только под маминой юбкой сидеть. Yes, I agree. So the moral of this comment is that as a parent, our main duty to raise independent adults. We've seen a lot of stories, we've seen a lot of relatives or friends or like bloggers, and we've seen people who still depend on their old parents, and this is pathetic, this is sad. So those parents struggling for their own shortcomings during parenting, you know. So as a parent, I know now that our main duty is to raise independent adults. I want to show you something. They brought a kite. It's so beautiful. We're gonna... Yeah. So our main duty as parents is to raise independent adults, to teach them. О, что-то у них не летает. О-о, упал. Okay, so our duty as parents is to, like, listen to that. And it took me a while to understand that, because when your kids are little, you know, your main concern is their health, their good eating habits, and you don't care about... When your kids are little, you just love them. You want them to be safe, and you want them to be well fed, you want them to be healthy, you want them to be busy besides the gadgets. And again, because we didn't have so much gadgets, you know. You want them to be involved in physical activity, you want the kids develop the social skills, stuff like that. But when they're teenagers, and when they're in that age when everything they do in high school makes a good base for their college and for their further education and getting a profession, you have to explain to your kids. Our goal as a parent to raise you an independent, functional adult. We don't want to be old and being there for you, getting you out of troubles, getting you out financial troubles. Of course, we're going to be there for you. Our door is always going to be open for you to come home, and we'll help you, and we'll be there by your side. But all the job we do now, like what we do for the kids now, is to raise them as independent and functional adults. I don't want them to be under my, how you say, возле маминой юбки when they're 40. I want them to be independent, living on their own, building their own relationships, paying for their expenses in life. And I know life is tough now, like everything is so expensive with inflation and with the economy all over the world. But you know, that's why we explain to them that college is important. That's why we explain to them we coming from like so far away, and we made something out of ourselves in this country, and we're saving for our like future when we're old. We're saving some money not to be miserable, not to depend on the government, not to depend on anybody else, to be hello. And that's what we teach them. Being a good role model, that's a part of the hard work, you know. Practicing what you preach is a part of the success, you know. Practice what you preach. And the kids, they observe this. A lot depends on the situation in the house. Kids are not stupid. They observe from the early age the dynamics in your house. They can tell, like, that both parents work as a team. They can tell, you know, like, how much attention they pay to the kids. Like, now I'm, like, back in the day, first 3 years, my husband was so busy building the career that he said, what you want me to do? Change the diaper is not going to change anything. When they start talking, when they start reading, we're going to have a lot more topics, and I'm going to spend more time to discuss these topics with them. Yes, he helped with the laundry, he helped with the household duties, but mostly like the care of the babies and the toddlers was me and my dad. And then they went to the daycare. But now I'm so impressed how good of a quality time my husband spends with my daughters, and they love that. They adore that. They can, you know, they can have a different feelings around their dad. Like my dad was busy. My dad was traveling a lot, and he would come and he said, "Oh, you're talking now. Oh, you're walking now. Oh, you're like in 3rd grade." My dad always brings something for me, like a little treat from his business trip, and he would always say it's from the bunny. I don't know why would you say from the bunny? At зайчика. And I loved my dad just because, you know, he wasn't home all the time, and he was a calm person. He couldn't care less. Like, well, he cared, but he wasn't like too much anxious and involved. My mom was the boss, like when it came to the kids. So I had a different relationship with my dad. But my daughters, my husband is so involved with my daughters, and I love that because, you know, that's how the girls see. That's how the girls see father figure. That's how they like always involved in their school activities and their sport activities, always talking to them, always being open, always like sharing good times, watching movies, going somewhere. So I think the role of the father is amazing and is like important, because later on you can tell that the girls who have good relationship with their dads, like healthy good relationships with their dads, they build good families, they build their own good relationship with their partners, and I strongly believe in that. Okay, so the attempts to fly the kite were unsuccessful. Maybe the winds are not in their favors, but they tried. It was beautiful. They tried. No kite. Okay, I think I'm ready to walk back home. I've been there with you for an hour. I'll probably walk a few more. Oh, смотрите, какая птица. Look at this beautiful bird. So that's about life and raising kids. So practice what you preach. If you practice what you preach, if you tell your kids eat healthy, make sure you eat healthy. If you tell kids to be nice to each other and not like quarrel, not to raise your voice, not to say mean things, make sure you do the same. Make sure you don't, you know, you don't be rude yourself to other people, to people you interact outside the house, to people interact in the house. Because at the end of the day, practice what you preach. You know, your kid's not gonna learn from you just telling them so. Do so. Like I tell them, you know, some days I feel like I don't want to go to work. I want to just lay down and read a book, but I have to go to work because I'm saving my vacation days for something more important, to go on a cruise with them or to go to Europe. And I can't just, you know, say today I'm not going to work just because, you know, I'm lazy. Teach them that you have to make an effort in everything. Teach your kids that without the effort, nothing gonna happen, nothing good gonna happen in your life. So teach them and praise them for that effort. You know, sometimes it's not the destination, it's the process. So praise them for the process, praise them for the progress. And it's very important things. My mom would have certain expectations, and then she would wait for the result. But if the result was not up to her standards, she would criticize me, and that was killing me. I learned from that I'm praising my kids' effort and I'm praising my kids' progress. If they tried, if they put enough work and enough diligence, and something didn't go right, they didn't get a good grade or something, that's okay. That's okay. They work hard. As long as they know they work hard, as long as they know they put an effort, that's it. I should praise them for that. And again, the same goes with sport. It's not always the prize. It's not always the place they take, second place, first place, or gold medal, or it's always their own progress. I just realized that I need to teach my kids to be every day a little better than they were the previous day. And I try to practice it myself. If today I was lazy, I didn't do all my laundry as I planned to do, that's one thing. But if it comes to the important things like of work, health, good food, every day should be counted, So there are small things in the picture, and there is big picture. But from the small things, the big picture kind of gets into like the whole puzzle. So, and I still believe in the theory of compensations. If you had a rough day, today, don't give up. It's going to be okay. Next day will be much better. Next day, when you're rested, you're well rested, you see things differently, and you not stressing as much, things gonna get better. It's all in your hands, and it's all in your coping mechanisms. So you have to tell your kids that life is all about coping mechanisms in each situation. Okay, I think I'm ready to walk back to my house. I don't know, I probably did like 4,000 steps with you. It's not a lot. But now I know it's kind of difficult to walk and talk because you get out of breath, Like now I'll probably finish my live stream and I'm gonna walk a little faster to get my heart rate a little up, to burn some fats. But it was important for me to get out, to talk to my viewers. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for discussing these important topics of life, heartbreaks, challenges, and coping mechanisms. That's the very interesting topic, and I'm gonna find new ways to talk about it based on the experience and the stories. And I hope you can comment, you can share your stories, you can share your challenges with being parents. I'm very open to your thoughts under my live stream in the comments, and I'm very open to the discussion. I think I'm mature enough to realize that I can be wrong in some instances, but and what's nice about this age, that even if you're wrong, you learn how to accept being wrong and move on, and you're open to change your opinions based on your better experiences or based on somebody's better experiences. So nothing is set in stone. I think I heard this phrase that only death is set in stone, like only death is permanent. But everything that happens to you here on this earth, it's all can be changed. It can be like one day at a time. It can be good, it can be bad, it can be better. So every day you have something going on. Nothing can be perfect every day. And you teach your kids that even if your day is going great and you're happy-go-lucky, everything goes smooth, you have to be prepared something gonna spoil, like ложка дегтя, бочки меда, like something can spoil that experience. And you don't need to focus on the bad experience. You have to be focused on the big picture. You have to believe in the theory of compensation, that if something less here, something gonna be more here, and you focus on your best qualities, you focus on your best talents, and you don't focus on fail all the time. You don't get stuck in the fail. You don't get stuck in the heartbreak. You don't get stuck in the bad place. You don't get stuck in the dark place. You teach your kids to find a way to cope with every situation. You teach your kids to find the light in the tunnel, you know. You teach your kids to focus on optimism rather than, you know, being sorry for themselves. And I think our parents were tough because of the generation and the times they lived in. And I think if they were even tough on us, I don't take it like a personal childhood trauma now. I take it in that they made us who we are. What doesn't kill us make us stronger. And that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, I'm not mad at my mom for all like this nasty comments and sometimes like high expectations and, you know, different things. I'm not mad at her. I think that we all make mistakes, and you choose things she taught you. Like, she taught me to be a good, you know, housewife. She taught me to take good care of myself. She taught me to take good care of the house. She taught me to cook. She taught me to be tough, like not just lay down and die, you know, just like she would expect me to be a hardworking person. And a lot of my personal qualities maybe is because she had those high expectations from me, you know. So even if I want to talk to her now and ask her some things as an adult, I think my parents did very good job raising me. So like raising me independent, raising me like hardworking, independent, responsible. So I wish that my kid's gonna be 2 times better than I am, you know, like character-wise, career-wise, relationship-wise, friendship-wise. I want them to be twice as successful as I am. So I will be totally fine with that, and I will be very proud of them if they grow up and be independent adults that I can be proud of. Thank you. 1 hour, 12 minutes. Thank you for being with me. Kate B. Like and subscribe again. Share your comments. Share your experiences. Don't be shy. I would love some comments, because we all come from different places, different cultures, and I think it enriches our knowledge how other cultures things going and what you expect your kids to be. Like, do you expect them to be, you know, well-rounded people, or you less, you know, controlling? Like, please share your thoughts, because I don't want to sound very controlling, but at this age, at the difficult age, I think that was good. The teenage years, I think I'm grateful for my mom being strict and keeping me away from troubles. She could probably communicate it in a little better way, like less offensive way. You know, ой, как красиво, смотрите, какие цветочки. Ой, мне нравится это джангл. Птички поют так красиво. So, but, you know, it is what it is. She kept me away from trouble. And I wish we have enough education and we have enough resources now and financial comfort and stability to keep our kids away from troubles, to keep our kids away from troubles that can happen anywhere in the world, you know. So that's my moral of the story. Bye, love you. Thank you for walking with me. Kate B. in beautiful sunny Florida. Gorgeous day. Thank you. Love you all. like and subscribe. Watch my other shorts and videos, and I'll take you for the spring break. I'll take you on a cruise. I'll show you the beautiful Atlantic and Caribbean, and I'll show you the beautiful cruise ship, Disney Cruise Line, the best in the industry. So stick with me, and it's going to be interesting. Love you all. Bye. Have a good rest of your Sunday. We're going to grill today. I'm excited. We're going to grill steaks and fish, and we're going to have a good day. Bye-bye. Love you all.